Now, some questions related to the project management consultancy part. So, lot of people don't understand how to go about it, and they do have PMCs sometimes but they're not very clear as to what are the requirements, in pre-tendering stage, tendering stage. I thought if you could give a glimpse to the people as to technical terms like what is site analysis report, what is design layout, how design layout is different, how feasibility report is different from technical feasibility report, and terms like market analysis. If we can take one by one. So firstly I'll ask you, what is site analysis report?
Now, site analysis means what? Obviously, all societies are compounded properties, but they are not translated in the revenue record.
Right.
Suppose a 2000 meter plot is there, whether the same is translated in revenue record or not. Suppose in the revenue record it is only 1800 meters. So all the FSI criteria will be based on 1800 meters, even though you are having more land with you.
Right.
So that society needs to understand. Maybe they are having a conveyance of 2000 meters, but the PR card is only showing 1800 meters. So FSI will be based on 1800 meters. Now if it is reverse, say the PR card is of 2000 and conveyance is of 1800.
Okay.
So FSI again will be restricted to 1800.
Right.
So the least criteria has to be taken. That is what the site analysis says. People will say, okay, my compound wall is standing for last 50 years. Nobody is complaining. This is my property. That doesn't work like that. Okay. So it has to have a support of the revenue record. So that's why site survey is important. The revenue record needs to be checked. Whether the ownership criteria, whether there are any covenants in the PR card, that needs to be looked into.
Understood. And how important is doing the design layout before finalizing? Will that help you understand your potential actually?
So we are also doing a lot of PMC projects. So what we do, basic plan we prepare.
Okay.
So that we know how much height we are going.
Right.
And whether I will be consuming my FSI.
Right.
See, if I am not able to consume FSI, as I gave you example in civil aviation zones, then there is a challenge. Otherwise, our tender will go wrong.
Right.
Potential is there, but I am unable to utilize the FSI on the plot.
Right.
So that block plan definitely is a requirement. Any PMC, that's why there has to be a backup in a PMC with an architect or any designer.
Absolutely.
Because without that, you will not be able to justify whether FSI potential, whatever is available, whether we can consume or not.
Agreed. So my next question to you is regarding technical feasibility. Can you explain more what is technical feasibility?
Yeah, so technical feasibility is a particular plot, how much FSI is permissible to as we discussed on various schemes,
right,
on what width of the road, how much is the existing FSI consumed,
right,
and accordingly the technical, whatever the potential is available, technical feasibility will spell out,
right,
how much balanced society can sell the product, okay, in the open market through a developer or in the self-redevelopment or in a DM model. So technical feasibility, as we discussed, there are various schemes available. This has to be fitted in for a particular plot, and then only FSI will be determined as such.
One more question regarding feasibility report. Now, I think this is one of the primary and most important document that the society should have, right, before starting or thinking to consider for redevelopment.
Yeah, so feasibility is absolutely, Manisha, important, saying that after whatever the FSI potential is available to a particular plot and under which scheme we want to undertake the redevelopment, the costing needs to be worked out. Once the costings are worked out, it can be premiums, it can be a rent, how much corpus you are giving, right, the construction cost, how much parking area is to be provided, so whether it is there are basements, there are podiums, all those cost has to be put it in one basket. And then what is the recovery? So suppose say recovery is 100 and the cost is 80, then 20% is the profit margin.
Absolutely.
Accordingly, we can suggest to the society that this much extra area you can expect, right, out of the redevelopment,
Right.
and this much rent. Rent obviously it will, market forces will govern, but how much corpus also you can get.
Right.
If the developer is not going to get a reasonable profit, he is not going to undertake that project.
Absolutely.
So, in our parlance, normally whatever is the cost and how much is the recovery, 33% profit has to be there for the developer. Then only he will undertake. So, this feasibility, a PMC can guide the society how much extra area over and above their existing area they can expect. Without that, the thumb rules are not workable. Every society, every plot will have a different criteria, so to say. So that's why this feasibility is quite important in the entire redevelopment process.
So you mentioned 33% is the developer's profit, without which they will not work, is it?
Yes.
And if they go for DM model, what is it that they will expect?
So in DM model, ideally 12 to 13% is the fees which the DM consultant take for redevelopment. So from 33 you come down to say 13.
Wow.
20% society is saved,
Wow.
and that 20% can go back to the society.
Wow.
So that is an important criteria for society to look into, wherein they will be maximizing their profits by giving to a DM consultant.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this is a real new model, I mean real valuable model
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
industry. Yeah.